Hello everyone, it's Janki. Welcome back to another video. I filmed a video earlier this day, and since I was all dolled up, I thought why not shoot the introduction of another video. So this is a reading vlog wherein I read two of Emma Watson's favorite books / some of the books she recommends. These are, the first one is The Queen of the Tearling by Sorry, I don't remember it, but I'll look it up. And then the other book I have is Persepolis. I think that is how it is pronounced, and I forgot who the author was. I need to look up the two authors of the two books I'm going to read. That's so shameful, Janki. Okay, so yes, The Queen of the Tearling I think is an epic fantasy as far as I know, and the Persepolis is a memoir but also a graphic novel. Oh no, I thought, So okay, I looked it up. So Persepolis is by, I don't know how to pronounce it right. It's by Moran. The Queen of the Tearling is by Erika Johansson. And how forgetful of me, I plan on reading 3 books that she recommends. And the third book I am planning to read is How to Be a Woman by Caitlyn Moran. Yes. And this is something very unusual of me. I have never done this before, but I am going to read a memoir. Oh, not one memoir. I'm going to read 2 memoirs. One is Persepolis and the other one is How to Be a Woman. And although Persepolis is a graphic novel, so it would be short, it would be a quick read, but I haven't read a memoir before, but for the sake of this video, I'm challenging myself and let's see if I can read a memoir or not. So okay, 3 books to run down quickly. Persepolis, The Queen of the Tearling, and How to Be a Woman. So, I woke up this morning and as my daily routine, I checked my phone. I went to YouTube. I regularly check the increase in my viewers and subscribers. I am obsessive about it right now. So yes, I did that, and what I found was that I scheduled a video to be uploaded, I think today, 4th May at 12:30 p.m. but instead I scheduled it for 12:30 a.m. and it got published, uploaded when I was sleeping. That's that. And coming back to our books, I did not read that much, but I did read the prologue and the first chapter of How to Be a Woman, and I think it would be quite hilarious. The book, the writing style of it, it's quite funny. I'm loving it so far, but it's too early to judge. And the second book, Persepolis, and until I opened that book up, I did not know that it was a graphic novel, and quite good at that. I just read, I think, few pages of it, 5 to 10 pages of it, and what I gathered was that it's based in Iran after the Islamic Revolution, and our 13-year-old author is telling us about what all changes occurred after the Islamic Revolution hit Iran. So not much, I haven't read that much to form an opinion now, but I'll read it today and update you guys later. And also I was thinking what to title this video, because reading vlog is quite common. What should I add in the brackets or quotation marks? So I thought, why not make it a joke for the DU students? So those of you who don't know, what happened was that it was our examination of English communication, and we had this passage, and subsequently we had 5 to 6 questions, out of which we had to attempt any 3. And the passage was about the 2-minute speech Emma Watson gave in the United Nations. It was about He for She campaign that she launched, and throughout the examination we had to rewrite her speech in different manners. We had all the questions related to her little speech, and people went crazy about it. And what happened after the examination was that many students who appeared in this examination, they DM'd Emma Watson on Instagram and asked her, did you ever think that your 2-minute speech will become a 3-hour long paper, or please write the examination for us and stuff like that. So it became a huge thing, the talk of the university, and it got so big to the extent that it also got published in a newspaper. So I thought, which better celebrity to pick for this video? And I had this thing in my mind for a long time that I'll do one of this kind of video wherein I read the favorite books or the books recommended by some popular figure, and I was uncertain about which popular figure to pick. And as you can see, not very spontaneously, but I decided Emma Watson. So yes, I'll surely include something Delhi University related in the title of this video. Welcome back. Bit of update on my reading. I completed Persepolis by Moran Satrapi. So now I'll talk what the book was about. So as I said, it was my first memoir. I kind of liked it and didn't like it at the same time. I have mixed feelings for this. I don't know whether I like it or not. So yeah, we follow our main character, the author herself. It's a graphic novel, by the way. So we follow the life of our author from when she was 10 years old till her early mid-20s. Main focus in this novel is about Iranian politics and of course the author's life, but we start the story, I guess, from 1970s, when the late 1970s, when Islamic revolution was going on in Iran, and we get to know about all the changes that Iran had to face after that Islamic revolution and all the tumultuous politics that it had to face, the war. We get a very different perspective of this war from a little girl. She's 10 when this all starts, and getting to know about all these changes from a 10-year-old girl is something refreshing. And as and when she starts growing up, her early teenage years, she starts having her own notion of what heroism is, what martyrdom is, what freedom is. We see how these Iranians face the indoctrination of Islam, the rigid rules and regulations that are imposed on them. But then we also follow the author who moves to Austria at the age of 14 alone to live a better life. And then when she's back again in Iran, and how things change for her. This book is crammed with politics, Marxism, a little bit of Marxism, talks about anarchists. Apart from the politics, we also get thoroughly in the life of our author when she lives her life in Austria. All in all, I would say I'm not a huge fan of a memoir, I'll say. I still prefer reading fiction, Um, but it wasn't a very bad idea to pick up a memoir, and at that it was a graphic novel, so I think it was easier for me to get through it. So yes, I've completed Persepolis. Now I have on my radar How to Be a Woman. And as far as I've read, I think I don't get much of the references in the book. They are very West oriented. To tell you about How to Become a Woman, which again is a memoir. It's about how to be a woman. Like she starts up at the point when girls hit their puberty, and she narrates her life story from that point of time. We get deeply into secondary sexual characters of females, and I'm quoting this quite sophisticatedly, but this narrative, it's very open, it's very bold, it doesn't shy away from topics that we feel that we are bound to shy away from. You mean what I say? So we talk about everything related with females, sexual characters, their sexuality. We talk about feminism. But yes, there are parts in between where I feel totally zoned out. Like, what is she talking about? I don't get it. But then we come to track again. But I think it's going quite good. Let's see what happens. And since I've completed Persepolis, I'm planning on starting the third book, which is The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansson, and that is fantasy, so I'm looking forward to it. So that was the update, and now updating you about the outside world. So my classes got suspended till 16th of May due to the high surge in COVID cases. This was a decision that our university did not make on its own. The students had a lot of protests, boycotting of classes and everything, and which eventually led to suspension of classes. And since I have more free time with me, I plan on reading so much. I'm ambitiously trying to read. Like I think I'll read around 7 to 8 books in this month, even more, can't say, but yes, I'm ambitious. You won't get any physical book here, you'll only get these covers here because I'm reading all of these on my phone, as you must have seen in the previous clip. So yes, I'll update you when I start The Queen of the Tearling, and yes, I'll tell you what it's about, and let's meet soon. Bye bye. Cute. Cute, cute.
भैया 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 भैया
Another day, and I have quite a bit to update you all. So I started the third book, that is The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansson, and I must say I'm impressed. I've read the first part of the book. The book has, I think, 3 parts. So we follow our main character Kelsey, who is the princess of the Tearling, and she is to ascend the throne when she's 19 years old. In the beginning of the story, we get to know that the princess Kelsey, when she was 1 year old, she was sent to exile to live in hiding and train there as well until she becomes 19 and ascends the throne. The queen is long since dead. At the time that the story begins, we see that she's 19 and the royal guards have come to fetch her to get to the kingdom. So at the beginning of the story, we have these royal guards come to fetch her because she's 19 and she now officially will be crowned as the queen. But it's very dangerous for Kelsey to reach the kingdom because almost everyone in the surrounding kingdoms wants her dead. We get to know about the greatest nemesis of Tearling, that is the neighboring kingdom of Mortmes. Mortmes is it's ruled by this queen, which is popularly known there as the Red Queen. No one knows her name. And is it just me, or you all also think that whenever red is joined with some title, I think that the person would be dealing in some kind of blood magic? I don't know why. So yes, she has ruled the kingdom for 130 years, and the relationship between Mortmes and Tearling is very fragile. It's held by this fragile treaty which Kelsey doesn't know about. So basically, Kelsey is not told a single thing about her mother because the instructors who instructed her during her 19 years, they were sworn to secrecy, along with the guards that came to fetch her. They all were sworn to secrecy, and so they did not tell her what her mother was like, how the kingdom was ruled, and everything like that. She had many questions and all of them were unanswered. But gradually, when she comes to know that what was really going on in her kingdom, she was enraged. And it's great after that, I think. That part comes later on. And not just the Red Queen wants her dead, even the person who's currently sitting on the throne of Tearling, when she was absent and was having her training, is her uncle, and he too doesn't want her to become the queen. So I think mostly this book will be about how Kelsey makes her own place in this kingdom, which is actually hers but is very unknown to her at the same time. Also at the same time, she has to fight her greatest nemesis, that is the Red Queen, also her uncle, and God knows how many more enemies. And it's quite fun reading it right now. I have enjoyed it up till now. I've read 1/3 of this book and it's great. Yes, that was my update on the book, and I'm curious to know how this story fares. So yes, see you soon. Bye bye. Hello, welcome back, and I have a new update for you all, and that is I've completed How to Be a Woman by Caitlyn Moran, and here are my final thoughts. So I did not get 50% of this book because of the references it made to the pop culture of Lady Gaga or Madonna or Katy Perry came in, that I finally knew some celebrities. But rest of the references were of all the popular figures of her time, maybe 1990s, late 80s, but I had no idea who she was talking about, so that was a minus point for me. Funny elements that were to be there, I did not get any of those, and but I think apart from the references, as the book progresses, it gets better. I think it gets better, and each chapter is titled so aptly, so straightforwardly. The title may sound to you like a guide on how to be a perfect woman or a perfect lady, but that is not it. It can be said totally opposite. She so sarcastically expresses all the feminine issues that I think is worth reading. If any of you who's saying this right now, if you are aware of the pop culture of say 1980s, 1990s, then I'm telling you, you'll enjoy this thoroughly, because obviously you'll get the references and you'll get what the joke was, which I did not. So I really missed out on that. That was the only issue I had with this. It was all I thought on this book, and it was really good. It was good. For my third book, which is The Queen of the Tearling, which I'm immensely enjoying right now, I have only 100 pages or so left, so I'll meet you all soon, update you on that, and let's see what I think about that. Yes, so bye-bye. Yes, you guessed it right. I completed The Queen of the Tearling. So I think this is the perfect example of how the first book in any series should be. Not so much information, nothing highly action driven or plot heavy going on, just entering into the world of that book, and that's exactly what this book was about. So as I've told you earlier, we have our main character Kelsey, and this first book is mainly Kelsey making her own position in the kingdom. Although she has been crowned as the queen, but she is to become the queen in the real sense, and that happens throughout this book, and it's really very good to see. So coming to the fantasy elements of this book, Kelsey has these two sapphires that actually she has just one sapphire, but the second one she finds later on. That one sapphire sometimes enlightens, and it sometimes reflects the mood of the queen, or it sometimes makes Kelsey do something, but we really don't know what exactly its power is. And it is only when she has both the two jewels with her that her power becomes complete, whole, and she can do something extraordinary. And we still don't have a better understanding of the magic system that is going on, because we have people who can see the future. They are known as seer, and there's a little reference of them here and there. But then we also have Kelsey, who can foresee certain events. That makes her jewel very precious, important. And then we have her nemesis, that is the Red Queen, who is said to be a witch. And later on in the book, we have an incident wherein she uses her power, but it's really very vague. Nothing much is given about magic, and since it's a fantasy book, I think there has to be a little more fantastic elements. The world building is gradual, which for me is good, because you don't really need info dump right now in the first book, so that's good. But it's so enjoyable. I enjoyed it so good. I loved the characters. I hated the characters as well, but oh my god, it was so good. Just that little missing part of fantasy, and I think I give this book a 4 stars. But it was a super good read. You don't even look in that far when you really read the book that, oh, there wasn't much of fantasy elements here. And if I was a beginning reader, I wouldn't have noticed it as well. But now that I have read the fantasy books that I have read, I have a little comparison standards, and so I think I'll give it a 4 stars. But it was a super good read, and I think to wrap this whole thing up, I'll rank all the 3 books that I've read. So as it is very clear, the number 1 book for me is The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansson. Number 2 comes How to Be a Woman by Caitlyn Moran, and number 3 is Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. So yes, that was it. This reading vlog was really something out of my comfort zone, because memoirs, It was my first try. I'll get used to it in a little while. This video made me read memoirs, so I'm glad for it. I'm entering new genres, so that's good. So thank you all of you who stuck up till the end of this reading vlog. I hope you all enjoyed it, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. And yes, until next time.